You're very welcome to the Salvation Show, and if you can see at the bottom of the screen here somewhere, you can subscribe to our channel. And what we do is we talk to loads of local people and artists and musicians and comedians and Alvaro and everyone on this show. And what it is, we have a great array of people coming in. There's 4 of us here today. We have Sean with us and Alvaro, and our special guest is well-known footballer, musician, publican, songwriter, everything. Tony Kane. Tony, you're very welcome.
Thanks, Paddy.
Just on your introduction, I was saying, Jesus, Tony thought of that. Seriously. Right.
Yeah. Done it all.
Check.
Done it all.
Tony, you're very welcome.
Thanks very much, lads.
Good to see you, Tony.
Good
So,
to
Tony,
see you all.
tell us about yourself. Where you were
What do you
born.
want to know? I did a Humans of Dundalk a couple of weeks back.
Have
there.
we seen that?
Actually, no.
And I don't want to.
Time to read it.
I want to get away from that if possible. So
I know
it'd
some
be-
games in dog. It was like being published by the Encyclopedia Britannica. How many volumes were there?
3.
Absolutely.
We had to give up after 3. We had to give up after.
Anyway, well, Tony, just give us a quick rundown.
Well, I was born in Chapel Street in the centre of town, and it was a great time to be alive. I loved the area. Life was different then. It's so different. As I said before, you could play on the street for literally hours. We used to play on St Mary's Road. That was our playground, the park there, the Maris Field, and we'd play football on the road. It was a big wide road there on St Mary's Road, and the rules of the game were if a car came along, whoever had the ball put their foot in it.
Yeah.
And that was it. So
And then
But not in the middle of the road. You'd have to move like.
Yeah.
But-
And then the famous saying was, even if it was 14-0, right? The
That's
next
right.
goal would win.
Last goal wins.
Yeah, the last goal would win.
yeah, we'd be playing maybe Mary Street North on the road, but if we were 2 down, we'd move the coat in and narrow the goals, you know.
You had coats.
Coats. The three in the curb was one post, and the coat on the road was the other.
Brilliant.
But it's
So-
just...
Look at gerrymander.
You'd say to the goalkeeper, "Catch your foot out and pull that closer."
But there was a lot of fun, as you're saying.
Oh, it was great.
You know, there was a lot of things that you made your own fun.
That's it.
Like it's football on the street. If it snowed, you made your own slides. You know,
We'd all be down the park, the whole street. That was in the summertime. You know, we climbed every tree in it and everything. And there was a place we used to call Susie Dunn's Island.
oh yeah.
Where the tide came in and you'd be up to your knees surrounded it. You would wade across and
Especially in a summer's night, the summers will last forever.
absolutely.
You know, they'll really last forever.
A decade-
You get your holidays.
A decade or so after.
Yeah.
We were.
And then we'd be all hiding in the bushes and my mother on the bike. Come home for your dinner.
Yeah.
Where are you? So I see us.
Your dinner's poured.
So after that, after school, you were always doing music.
Well, I wasn't until I was a.
How
I
did you
was-
start that?
Right, I'll tell you what. I went to in 1957, the Magnus, the Tommy Steele story, and Tommy's still alive.
He is.
He is still
He
alive.
holds a record for the most appearances in the London Palladium.
Yeah,
Still.
and he was playing his guitar, and I was fascinated. It was the first time I saw someone really playing a guitar. And I came home and I said to my dad, I said, "Dad, I'd love to learn the guitar." And he said, "Well, would you learn it now? You know?" I said, "I'd love it." I passed no remarks, but a fortnight later I came home from school and he bought me a guitar. And he arranged lessons with Pat Carley, the Eggs Door in Pat died in Australia there a wee while last year. He used to come home regularly. Pat played the pubs here when he was here regularly, and went there for lessons on a Saturday afternoon. There was about 5 of us in the class, and that was it.
And when did you start the first? When you get involved with bands?
Well, when I became 16, 17, I used to go around and watch the bands that were down, the Paragon 7, the Flamingos, go down and watch the guys. Aidan Lee was a brilliant guitarist with the Flamingos. Go down and watch him rehearsing the numbers. And I'd ask him then, "Aidan, what chord did you play there?" I didn't know that one. And he'd show me, "This sort of, you picked up all these things, you know."
You asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can pick them up on the internet now for nothing, you know. There's that many experts out there,
you can pick up-
you know.
experience.
But that was it, and learning. And the big thing was, my father bought us a reel-to-reel tape recorder, and he'd have it there in the house. And on Thursday night, there'd be about 10 in our room watching Top of the Pops. And I'd have the wee mic propped in front of the tally. Silence! Record the numbers. Next day, rewind them, write out the words.
Yeah.
And try to figure out the chords of the songs.
Exactly.
So
We were doing, but for years, all the bands in Dundalk never signed the right words because you always mistake.
Yeah.
somewhere. Like I remember Joe Duffy singing in '76, "Save your kippers for tea." But
I heard one. My brother, Lord Weston, was telling me, Billy Moran, worked in Peachy.
I know Billy well, yeah.
And Billy had started singing this song. I remember that somewhere in Dublin, when snow lay on the ground.
But there was great. It was great to be able to figure out the chords. You know,
That was it. And it was a challenge, you know.
It was amazing.
But that and the football, football was a really big part of my life too. I love football. I was playing like regular with the bank. The bank had a great team at that time, you know. Yeah. I just look at the photograph on the wall now and there's 5 or 6 of that team dead and gone, you know. And that's the way life is. But and
was that pre-John Murphy management?
Oh wait, that was Jim Martin way back. This is in the 60s, 61, 62, 63.
I remember going down to see Bank Rovers playing Cork.
I was down at that match myself, Sean.
Yeah, I was down the bus. Yeah. Train. Yeah.
Steam.
And me a holding man.
Yeah. You were disguised. Was that the time you had to wear the glasses and the nose and the moustache?
Yeah.
Just to enjoy the power. In case we had communicated.
Yeah. But there was that time that if you played soccer, you weren't allowed in to the Gaelic.
Oh, I remember being at school. I was playing the school team under 14 Gaelic. Brother Fahy was in charge of the team, and myself and Joe Carroll and a few guys were playing soccer. We had to sign a declaration: I shall not partake in foreign games. We had to sign it. We were up in Joe's Park the next night playing again.
But you know something? There was a committee set up. You know, the Vigilante Committee, and there were all the top men in GA in Loud.
Yeah,
we going round to all these soccer matches. Oriel Park.
Yeah.
And they're the greatest who's themselves in the soccer matches, to be honest.
I know.
You know.
You see power corruption.
I was taken on front of the county board for playing soccer.
Yeah.
I was no good at it.
Now, playing or spectator? Would you
playing? I played for the Joes. Mickey Callum would come down to Fatima. We were all after playing a game of holding or something. And Mickey would come in recruiting people to play for the Joes. The Joes was up here. 3 or 4 games I played, but I couldn't get the hang of it. No, I couldn't.
You kept lifting the ball.
I wanted to get. I wanted to grab the ball. And kick it.
So they never could do soccer. So moving on now. So you had that going on.
I had, and then was playing football around. I did my leaving cert, and the mar was finished, and I was doing a wee bit of part-time work and that things, you know. And I was the famous hoedown in the festival.
Oh yeah.
Which those days are long gone, and they were just brilliant times. That festival in Dundalk. It was unreal. You had everything. You had stages on the streets there. You had the Maris Field with tug of war. You had everything and anything.
Great.
But the McCourt's hoedown was turned into a big barn and
Church
Street.
Yeah.
At
the back.
The big store.
Clonbrassil Street.
The ploughboy.
Yeah, the ploughboy.
Yeah, the ploughboy. That was packed, and they had bands on it. The one band, it was the Young Vikings that were playing there at the time.
I remember it well.
And I went up to the stage and I was just talking to John Flood. John was with him, and he had a lovely guitar, and I was talking to John about his guitar, and Con Dullahan was in the band at that time. Yeah. And he says, "Do you play it?" He says, "We're looking for a guitarist, a singer." And I said, no, I never played with anyone as such. He says, well, we've a rehearsal room up in O'Connell Flats here, at the back of the flats, at a room. Come up on Tuesday night and take your guitar. And that was it.
That was it.
I was in.
The Young Vikings.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And then the travel in the country, like, it was just unreal. Now, I mean, like you can imagine, there was no major roads. There was, you go to maybe Clare. I remember I was going to Clare 5.5 hours there.
Yeah.
You know, and some of the venues were okay, but some of them, like the promoters, definitely in the ballrooms, just didn't do justice to the bands. No. Most of the dressing rooms were absolutely filth.
Yeah.
No toilet facilities, everything. I remember going to one gig and the guy that was in charge of the hall, and I says, where's the toilet? He says, you may piss in the sink.
Yeah.
That was it.
It was.
Oh,
yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. But as you said, it was awful, and there was nothing like nowadays.
Not at all.
You can have DVD.
And you were on stage at 9 o'clock and you played till 2 in the morning. You do your programme 3 times over.
Yeah.
The crowd wouldn't come into the bit.
Would you strive home after that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me. And would you be in work the next day? If you had
Well, I was working in the rates office at that time, and it was part time. You could use your hours if once you did your hours in. So we could be home 7 or 8 in the morning some places, and I go into work then at 10 o'clock, and you could finish.
time, they should be home straight after work.
And I was at guys. In Dundalk. We were playing the Hilton in Cork for Sunday night, and we were all coming back, and we arrived in Dundalk at 7 o'clock in the morning. There was 3 of us, the roadie and Eamon McCavitt.
Yeah.
And myself worked in the Weinberg shift, and we went in. But we came out, it was during the summer, we came out for the tea break, sit outside. The 3 of us fell asleep. And they left us there. We were nearly sacked.
I know. I'd be in throwing water in my face just to try and just get the hours and all that. But it was I'm not. It was a great time. I loved it.
It was brilliant. People think, it must be hot. It wasn't.
I wasn't. It was fun.
You were a star.
I was fun.
And Tony, as a very bad guitar player myself, how much practice would you put in if you at the beginning?
At the beginning,
you got this new guitar.
At the beginning, it was just to learn the chords. That's it, to learn the chords. And I just saw, just bring me back to, basically, and Paddy will tell you this, you could write thousands and learn thousands upon thousands of songs on 4 chords.
Yeah.
And maybe a minor thrown in.
Oh, just for...
Ed Sheeran was on there one night. I saw him about 6 months ago with the guitar, and he said, name any song. I can play it in 4 chords.
Anything?
Anything. They were just throwing them at him.
The problem that I had, and it put me off, it was my fingers nearly
Fingers.
me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I couldn't bear the pain.
Yeah, but after a while you get...
Oh, you will. You get a hardened skin.
You get a hardened skin.
Yeah, you do. And it's a layer.
And it's when I went back to playing the guitar, I lost that hardness because I was playing bass. And it took me a while to get it back.
Yeah, it does, Paddy,
So
I remember talking about learning there. In my father's band, there was a guitar player, Jim Fergus.
He taught me for a while too. John from the Key.
Jim would come in to our house with my father, and we heading off to play a gig somewhere. And my father said to Jim, would you tell him, what to do and how to approach this guitar business? And Jim Fergus said, even if you put your hands in your pockets, keep doing that.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. Exercise.
Exercise your hand.
Oh, you have to. I do it now. I go, Jesus.
I know.
That's arthritis.
It gets on, but the excitement of it, yourself when you were on the road.
But it was great. I don't believe, honestly, that we had a row in that van ever in our lives. We just laughed. We had a laugh.
That was brilliant.
It was great times.
Right. I remember, and I said it in the Humans of the I remember sitting on the paling. Well, there was one side. My father had only enough bricks for the wall on the other side. I remember sitting and pulling up outside Noel Donnelly's house, and you were all in it, and I said, God almighty, I'd love to be able to do that. And then Charlie was the driver.
Charlie.
Wasn't it Bedford, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it pulling away, and I said, I wonder where they're going now. You were just gone.
Yeah.
And I said, I'd love to be able to do that.
And it was great. When we go to the north, they had a different format. All the dances there had to end by 1 o'clock, which was great. Yeah. And then they started to put on a relief band before you, which was great.
It was fabulous.
That was like heaven. The relief band would be on till maybe 10 o'clock, and you'd only do 2 hours.
Yeah.
What was the conditions like down there?
Yeah, they were better. For me, they were better down there.
Better.
And I had the distinction. We used to play in a ballroom outside of Belfast in Hollywood. Now, Hollywood was a base for the British Army. At that time, there was no troubles.
Yeah.
And the soldiers would be all in there at night and whatever. But Bob Moore run that ballroom. And we went down one Saturday night, and he says, Tony, I'm putting on a wee band before you, and my son's in it. That was Gary Moore.
Yeah, I remember.
And he'd a wee 3-piece band. The drummer would say it was only learning, and so was the bass player. But this wee guy, we just stood in awe of him.
Yeah, he was genius.
We went down maybe a couple of months later for our next date, and Bob says, Tony, he's away to Dublin. The Brush Shields, and he's away to Skid Row.
Terrible.
That was the start.
But didn't Gary Moore stand in with us one night? Were you sick one night?
No, I don't know. No, not that I know of.
No. I think John Flood said it once.
Maybe.
That he stood in just because of a member.
Yeah.
Because in those days, as you know, they paid you for the amount of members.
Yeah.
You know, like if you had less members, you got less money.
Yeah, I remember Jimmy Mack in the Paragon. He was playing the National in Dublin on midweek night, a Monday night, and he came round to the house in a hurry to me. Tony, can you help us out? I've only 6. I have to have 7 on the stage. I got Sean McCartan's suit.
It was the same.
I was like the penguin.
Yeah.
The trousers had to be folded up 2 yards. The coat was down like Reginald Perrin out of Rising Damp. I was standing there, and we took a break. We took a break, and we had to walk through the hall for our tea. I was like this.
I remember, Lord rest him, Mickey Mulholland. I remember it was the guys and dolls. There was 3 of us and Cora Turner. But we needed one more. We took Mickey. And we were playing in the Imperial Hotel in Sligo. And Mickey had a guitar, but it was big, long lead. And Mickey said, what do I do at the end? He says, give me it. I threw it behind my amp.
Yeah.
And there's Mickey just playing away. But all the women threw their coats behind on top of it. And we were doing this move, and Mickey makes it swing. All the coats were on the floor. Oh, they were simple days, but very simple. But well, the Vikings was really your first band, wasn't
That was it, yeah. And then Charlie changed it. There was a band from Carlow called the Vikings, not the Young Vikings.
Yeah.
And Charlie, with the Musicians Union, Charlie came in one day, a manager, I'm changing the name of the band. He consulted no one and called it Toronto.
Yeah.
But
We nearly fainted when how did he pick the Toronto for it?
From the young Vikings.
Yeah.
But I remember the Adelphi, they used to have the show bands. It was Sunday afternoon. And there was a band called the Vikings. And I remember, it's probably the same band. It was the same band. I thought they were absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I remember coming home to the house and Trimby, where were you? I was in the Adelphi listening to a band called the Vikings. So they were they were brilliant.
Where were they from, did you say, Tony?
Carlow.
Well, I don't remember them now playing up round here. I don't remember them. But
Sunday afternoon, Tony was the
I don't remember.
Did show bands predominantly do covers?
Covers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But did any of them ever write their own material at any stage?
Very few.
Very
I think
few.
the Paragon 7.
They had 1 or 2
They had
out,
one.
and very few. But they were all like the Miami were the big one at that time. Dickie Rock and the freshman Derek Dean, but they were doing all covers like
The whole
covers.
They were also introduced a lot of...
Yeah, well, Dickie had his ballads, candy store in the corner.
But I remember sitting outside, he was telling you,
Sorry, I was shocked when I found out Perry Como recorded that first.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
Dickie Rock.
Dickie Rock,
What do you know?
yeah.
I remember he was telling you sitting outside in the Palin. And when you were going, I was just stunned by everything. And you were in the Adelphi one night. You were playing as the Young Vikings.
Yeah.
And my mother says to me, I'm going to bring you to see Noel and the Vikings. I said, oh, great. And Noel was getting ready, of course. Noel says, here, I have a blazer here, give him that. You remember the one with the red piece at the back?
Yes.
Noel, give me that one. So I had nothing to wear with, so my mother got one of Owen Mary's jumpers and put it on back to front. So the buttons are at the back and put on. And Morgan in the Adelphi, I'm sorry with this size. And at the bottom where the paling is, my mother says, just stand there. I think Dio Kane, she said it to me. I'll let him in for a minute. And I watched it, and I was just amazed by everything.
Paddy, that memory is just one of us.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I didn't take the jacket off for 3 months.
Yeah.
Tony, did you guys ever play in the Adelphi?
Yeah, we did.
In the afternoon, it was Sunday afternoon. Maybe
I don't remember any bands ever on Sunday afternoon.
yeah, Sunday afternoon, yeah.
Never.
That didn't last for too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the student dances a couple of times. You know,
Tuesday
that's where I met
nights,
Dympna,
yeah.
my wife,
Whereabouts was this now?
in the Adelphi. We were playing it. We were
You're
playing.
going to say, whereabouts this?
Yeah.
It was near the stage.
So everything happened in the Adelphi. Was there any other venue?
The Pavilion in Blackrock.
Pavilion,
yeah.
But the thing at that time was the bands coming from England. Top of the Pops, all the bands that were on Thursday night were in the Pavilion or the Adelphi.
Yeah.
I saw numerous like bands. Chubby Checker. He was number one at the time with Let's Twist Again, and he had the Jeff Love band with him, 10-piece band.
That was good.
And it was that in the Pavilion.
The Kinks, the Searchers, Johnny Cash. It was just the case I saw.
Yeah.
Ingerbert was in it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And was this in the Pavilion?
In the Adelphi. Adelphi had most of
The
them.
could hold how many?
Eric Clapton.
About 1,500 to 2,000 people crammed in.
Yes.
Right.
And there was no health or safety.
No.
So let's go back to now meeting the young hearty one from Liz too.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I came off the stage and out the door, and I had my guitar with me, and Tony Martin was standing there. Tony was the bass player with the Hurricanes,
Yeah.
and he was standing with Dympna and Teresa Mullen, a friend. And he just said, "Here now, here's a young man now coming here and whatever," and started talking to them. And Tony went away, and I was talking to the girls, and she said, "What are you doing? When do you practice or whatever?" And I says, "We practice up in the O'Connell Flats, Tuesday and Thursday." So I sure take a walk up. So the two of them duly arrived up on Tuesday night and walked down as far as Burns Corner and made a date and
that was
savoured the pictures Monday night.
It's fair to say that Dympna Hardy was Tony's first groupie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And still is.
Yeah. And that's it.
I came to know Dympna and Tony when Tony O'Kane ran the best bar in the Northeast. And I don't care anybody tells me any different. It's not true. The best pub in the Northeast was Tony O'Kane's Sentry Bar. And it was Tony O'Kane Sentry Bar. It had been Matt Sloan's Sentry Bar, but it was Tony O'Kane Sentry Bar. And the Tony O'Kane came first. Tell me about that. How did you go? Now, obviously dealing with the public, performing, entertaining. It's all front of house.
Yeah.
It's all a bit of theatre.
Yeah.
All a bit of showing off. It's all of that.
Yeah.
I love it. But tell me the step into publican.
Into publican, right. Well, I was walking away. We were living firstly in Glenwood, and we moved across to Prior and Grove, and we went to I remember there was a presentation below for Billy Clark. Billy was the salesman below.
In Loughlin.
It was in Connex.
I remember Billy, yeah.
Billy was retired, and he must have worked all his entire life for
Connex.
the Connex. CCO then later came in and took over it. But we went for his presentation night up to the corner. I think it was the Windmill or the Shamrock at the time, and to give Billy a clock. And he wanted to get the car. They wouldn't give him the car unless he bought it. And he says to me, "Tony, I'm going to tell you something. This coal trade is not going to last forever. Oil is king now and coming in." And he says, "They give me a clock to fucking sit at home and I look at it on the mantelpiece." And I just got thinking about that, And we went to England for Christmas over to Dympna's sister. And came back, and we were talking about maybe do something else, And Dympna just said out of the blue, would you fancy maybe taking a pub? And Jim Carroll, the auctioneer, lived beside us.
Yeah.
Went over to Jim and said, "Jim, listen, we're thinking maybe it's something, buying a pub." He says, "Tony, every one of them are for sale." That was in 1985-86.
Yeah,
there was a recession.
Yeah.
And we came down and we looked at Wards and Park Street and a few others from here. And at the end of maybe the day, he says, Matt Sloan, I'm married to a niece of Matt, and he's definitely thinking about selling. And that just triggered something in there.
Yeah.
And we went down to have a look at it now. It needed a lot of work. And Dympna walked in. She was always a great one for making the right decision, especially in my life. And she says, without hesitation, this is the place for us.
How right she was.
But the sad part of it was like I drank there when I was young, and that was a men only bar at that time.
That Snug was at the
Snug in the back, yeah.
We were neighbours of the Sloans. We grew up playing upstairs, and then the cool shed out the back, the corrugated thing, was a ghost fest in that.
And I remember sitting. I was about maybe a fortnight before we moved in. And I was sitting upstairs with Matt, the two of us, and he says, "Listen, guys, I'm not going to tell you how to run it. You'll make your own mark on it, but don't stay too long." He says, "I stayed too long."
And you missed it, Tony?
I missed it for a while, but the really sad part, Matt bought a house in Castle Road, and he says to me, "Tony, I'm just going to look forward to walking up and having a pint this side of the bar." He was dead a week later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very sad.
Dropped dead of a heart.
Very sad.
He never saw it for times. Never enjoyed it.
Very, very sad. It was his father's place.
Yeah.
It was great.
So he took it over from his father. And we were next door in Alvaro's from 69 to 77. And we were all friends along that strip. Frank Callan, the hairdresser, Mary Gibson was there. The wee shop. Johnny Boyle was on the corner, the home bakery. And you were from the area. Nicholas Arthur's sister. Do you remember her? She used to manage the shop, Nicholas Arthur's
I do. I'm trying to think of her name. Annie May Arthurs,
Arthurs. So it was 1987, wasn't it, you bought it?
Yeah. We opened it in 1987. It was a bit of work. We did a bit of work to get it up and running.
I had my first pint legally, Antonio Kane.
Yeah.
And I did, my first ever performance was in your pub.
Yeah.
And it was for people in need, where I tried to, and that's a lesson I've learned throughout my life now. I was nervous. I had a couple of drinks before I went on, and I said, and obviously it didn't work out. I'll never do that again. And then, God bless Gabriel, I don't know who, we had the Century Woodbine.
Yeah.
Because Players was too strong. Do you remember that?
I remember that well.
And we raised so much money. We were Maytime Festival. And I wasn't the first production. Then we did Anna Cerebrus. I was matron Mag, and your lassie was Nurse Chester. Brilliant. We packed them out. Literally packed them out. And they'd be running down to see it after the main stage. And that's where I have very, very fond memories, Tony, of yourself and Dympna.
I know.
There. And also great lunch.
I know. I had great memories of one of those pub dramas.
Oh,
you know, like the rehearsals were better than the real thing. It was unreal.
I'll just tell a very quick story that very few of us know. You know what I'm going, Tony. Sure, we'd run a wee book, a wee tab, and we'd fix it up. And was it the Red Book?
The Red Book, I still have it.
Have you on phone? You're born that. So we'd go in and we'd be rehearsing, so the crack would be great. And we'd be quite diligent. I mean, but then you'd have a wee drink and the crack would be good, and then you'd have another wee drink, and then you'd remember the lines, and then you put it through. Anyway. So we had at the end, Tony said, great run. He said, we raised this for charity. It was good house. We had a 4-night run. That's grand. He said, the Red Book. I was, oh, fuck. So you see, day by day, just the date and stuff, sedately, 2 glasses of hop and a pint of McCardles. And as a night, particularly weekend nights, we were rehearsing like on Friday or maybe Thursday, you can see it disintegrate. 20 Major, 20 Robins, 2 slippery nipples. And he said, Dympna was beside me, we're killed. He said, listen lads, it was a great week. I'll wave that. And Dympna turned to me and said, wave back quick. But
it was brilliant. I used to go out on a Tuesday night, and they'd be all in the back. The Desi, O'Connor and Gabriel and the lads, Jerry Duffy, Bevo, God rest poor Bevo. And I'd say, they were all in the lounge, I'd say whoever was on, maybe give them a drink. So I'd be coming home at about maybe 12:15. I could hear the singing at Mullins. Joan was on, the sister at the time. I looked at the book the next day. I saw that the second round after they went, there was 4 glasses and a pint, and then there was 3 slippery nipples,
and I got blamed
20 cigarettes, 4 pints. And Jerry Duffy had promised the Loud Hospital he was going to raise money for a machine for them, right? Anyway,
drinks machine.
Started out.
No, we covered ourselves.
We had the meeting, and we had a fee in the door. The tent was in the garden. It was great.
We packed them in. He's running through the lounge in the bar.
Yeah.
Packed them through. Charlie Flynn was in it. Charlie Flynn, wasn't it?
Charlie Flynn.
And he came over the wall. He couldn't get through the crowd. So he had to come over the wall. He had a line. He had walk on lines. I'm taking my case to court. I'm appealing. I'm taking it to a higher court. So he had to go through Heber's yard. At the back of O'Hearn's. I came over the wall and someone said, look at that man here. He won't pay in. And he brought a lad out.
But the meeting of the Waters was when we all sat down. And I remember to this day, there was a lot of money taken in. And I looked at the Red Book. And I says, lads, you're 330 in debt. There was total silence. Spray says it's wiped. That's it. Forget it.
I still have that book.
I have that book at home. Yeah. I kept it.
Don't worry, son. It'll be very rich. I'll make sure of it.
Someone said to him, you're selling a pub, how much do you want for the book?
Yeah.
But just getting back to the pub itself, Tony, who designed that building?
No, I'll tell you, Terence MacDonald built it. His initials are still up over the bar, and you can see it.
Terence.
Now, when I had it, the bar was, when you walked in the door, the bar was facing. Mickey Clark bought it, and then he turned the bar around and incorporated the lounge into it.
Which sort of works out?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And the boys are Warden and Mocara at the moment.
But he put out at the for the building, that was the first purpose-built pub in Dundalk. He went competition-wise with architects and designers and put it out to them to design the Century Bar. And I think a firm from Edinburgh won the competition.
So let me get this straight. It's the first purposely designed and built
Yeah.
saloon bar, public bar.
If you look at the windows, remember the windows over the door and coming in, they were on cords, like and a cog wheel. You could wind them up to let air in and all that kind of thing. Most of the other pubs were all drapery shops and things. They were later converted to pubs. There was a few old ones.
So this
but the Century was part of that's the way it. And it is unique design.
But before Thomas MacDonald built the second, the top 2 floors, was it?
Yeah.
Which is 1904, 06.
1903, I think it officially opened.
And he built McDonald's Terrace, of course.
Yeah, he did.
McDonald from Dundalk.
Yeah, the builder.
Road from in the Johnson Street, is it?
He had. I think he had a yard down in Castle Road.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But come here, so the pub before that, before McDonald, was what? Was it as it is now, or did he refurbish the whole thing?
No, I remember, of course, there was different fads. I remember, that was one of the busy. I remember, when I was growing up in Chapel Street, all the firemen and the council workers lived in the houses in Market Street. They were all designated there. I always remember you'd be sent up to make halves for something, or a shop or wherever, or someone had a drain blocked. If you had a drain blocked or the toilet blocked, you walked into Matt's because they were all there. And there'd be someone there with the brushes for a half an hour.
Sure, Robbie Gormley, later years.
That's it.
We'll be sitting at that bar in your place.
And they got 5 shillings to the woman for putting the way back to the pub.
And they probably blocked it themselves with all the Guinness.
But it was thriving. I remember thriving then, And Alan Gormley, my best friend, Lord of Mercy, Alan died there a couple of months back and whatever. And we'd be there, of course. We weren't allowed in. We'd be allowed into the lounge.
Yeah.
And an evening, I'd take the guitar up. And we'd have a few songs there.
As a young fella.
Yeah.
It's great
And my granny had the pub in Key Street, Fitzgerald's. That's where my mother was reared. And she'd be down there a lot, And I remember lying in bed one morning, I heard her coming in the door. Peter, he was in Sloan's drinking with a guitar. And me putting the covers over my head.
And where was the pub down the quay at Fitzgerald's?
It's right beside the lawn
Are
just
you
now.
related to the Collins then?
Yes, first cousins.
Yeah.
Jesus. Francis' auntie.
Francis, a great neighbour of ours, in fact.
See, I grew up near the Fitzgerald's girls because we were Fitzgerald's as well, but no relation. So Tony's late mother, Mary, who was a font of information and just read and read and read. And I think your Fitzgeralds were from Cork.
Yes, my grandfather.
Our Fitzgeralds are from Derry.
Yeah.
No connection, just 2 different names. But I knew all your aunts.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful bunch of people.
Yeah, brilliant. When I was growing up, I had only one grandfather. My grandfather on my mother's side, he died early, and she left 7 children. And I remember my mother saying she was quite good at school. The nuns were going to push her on for further education. Yeah, she had to leave and help her mother.
Yeah,
that was the way life was.
That was the way,
Yeah.
Not like nowadays.
Many times did that happen.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I was supposed to go.
And then on my father's side, I never knew my grandmother or grandfather. Never knew them. They were dead. Never.
Sound
No
real.
There were a
memories.
couple of boys in Fitzgerald's. There were 2 boys in Fitzgerald's.
Yeah, Jack and Michael. Mickey. Mickey.
Michael, yeah.
Predominantly, it was a matriarchy.
Yeah.
So people talk about the Mitford sisters now.
Yeah.
The Duchess of Devonshire is one of them. Nothing to the Fitzgerald girls from the Quay.
Unreal.
Nothing.
Unreal. They
Dead.
were just unique. Unique.
Yeah.
Such characters. And so different. Seeley from Annie to Mary to Francis. And of course, Teresa.
Yeah.
The last.
She's the last. Yeah.
There was only one brother, wasn't it?
Two. Michael and Jack.
I know.
Yeah.
And Tony, who was your aunt in Chapel Street? Nuala. Was it?
Nuala. She was my father's sister.
That was Peter's.
I used to spend my summers down in Foynes in Limerick. Her husband was a motor launch operator for Shannon Airport. At that time, I remember Captain Maureen O'Hara and her husband coming in the flying boats, landing in Shannon, in the Shannon and Foynes. That's one of the deepest sea ports in Ireland.
Right.
And I remember them all landing there.
Oh yeah, that was the first stop.
And he used to take me out in the launch there, and he'd go right out to the Shannon, and he'd be on the walkie-talkie, flight number so-and-so coming from New York to Shannon. At that time, they hadn't enough communication to reach the tower. And he'd relay then back to the tower, flight ETA, 30 minutes, Shannon Airport.
Wonderful memories.
And I spent my summers down there. And my father told me in later years, he says, I went to pieces when you went on your holidays down there for 3 months at a time, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I had great memories of down there. She was a school teacher out there.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember when she retired.
Yeah.
When she came up from the door.
Yeah.
I remember.
And she had no children. Like, her husband died when he was 42, cancer, you know. And
so she was widowed a long time.
But she was a brilliant woman.
Chapel Street.
Yeah, she came back into Chapel Street when we moved up to the Century. My mother came up to live with us there.
Yeah.
But simple things, you know. Like that's the excitement, even seeing Murray and O'Hara.
I know.
You know, and I don't.
And the museum, like, I've been threatening, and the whole, like, our kids then, when we were growing up, we went every single Easter down, packed the car up, and we went down for a week tour in Foynes. And my kids are saying to me now at the moment, we have to go back to Foynes. We all want to see part of our childhood that we spent down there.
That's good.
Yeah, so what?
I had occasion to work in Limerick for a while, and I always wanted to get it. I never made it.
Yeah,
because I'd be fascinated with the flying boats.
Yeah, and there's a magnificent museum there now to Maureen O'Hara. She's donated all of her stuff to the museum.
Wait, really?
Yes, all of her everything.
And where does she live in Ireland? Was it right?
She was I think she was from Mayo, and I'm not sure.
But where did she live when she resided?
That's what I don't know.
Around there, maybe.
Yeah. Tony, of all the things you're talking about, the bands and all, growing up in Chapel Street and playing football in the streets and learning the guitar and the whole lot, the changes today, yeah. Like what
life? It was so simple, and you see the way life has changed. Like you remember most of the houses in Chapel Street, we all were the same. Keys would be in the door at night.
Yeah,
that was a real thing. If it wasn't in the door, you put your hand in the letterbox and pull the key out. You know.
Something you're talking about just reminds me of we hadn't got a key to the front door, right? I don't know, but my father used to wedge a piece of a cigarette box and wedge it between the jamb of the door and the door.
Yeah.
So you'd think that's locked, but you would push it.
He's had a door.
That's the only key that we had. A piece of paper and jam in the door, you know. Funny, these things.
Yeah, and there was only one. Barry's lived next door to us. They were the only house in the street with a telephone. So, and it was quite used. Like, if anyone, you know, at that time, loads and loads of people emigrating to England and all maybe wanted to ring home.
Yeah.
They'd give Barry's number, and Barry's would come up the street, Mrs. So-and-so, your son's on the phone from London.
And I'm presuming they'll be scheduled.
Yes.
Telephone goes at such a time.
And, And they were the first house in Chapel Street to put in a bathroom. They put in a bathroom out the back, purposely built. And Aidan and myself, Mrs. Barry took us in. We must have been about 8 at the time.
Sunlight's up.
2 of us in the bath. Thought we were in heaven.
No, you know, but is
wash.
But that's what I mean. Like
we were washing when we were young. A big aluminium bath with the stove, a big stove in the kitchen, and that's it.
Front of the fire.
Yeah,
front of the fire, and the rust still in the bottom.
Oh, that wasn't.
But I often said to my mother in later times, no crime or whatever. She says, in the name of God, son, she says, what would they get in any of them houses? Practice. Right. There was nothing. Practice. There was nothing to take.
Yeah. There was nothing. No, as you said, the keys. I remember it.
Yeah.
Many a time coming home, and the keys still in the door.
Absolutely, I remember too.
And as you said, the chain and the letterbox.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have remembered that. You'd had the shop.
No, I remember Aidan himself. Yeah, we slept in the back room in the wintertime, and you could blow your breath, and it nearly freeze.
Yeah.
I remember the icicles on the window. You know, frost on the windows.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And you lived in the nice part of town.
Well,
but it was considered.
Yeah.
You know, if it were, and we did have one, we leafy suburb.
I know.
The centre.
And then, like the other aspect was Ryston's Lane was there. You know, Ryston's Lane between. Yeah, that was a very poor, very very poor area, very poor.
And leading on to Chapel Street.
Yeah, leading on. Yeah, and I remember 1 or 2 guys there that were in my class coming to school in their bare feet. Went to school in their bare feet.
But isn't it serious how you had Chapel Street and that just lane?
That lane,
Yeah.
And the 2 different.
Yeah.
You know.
That's before you had sort of.
Yeah, and the paper boys outside St. Patrick's on a Sunday morning. 10 paper boys, all of them. I remember them all in the bare feet selling papers.
Yeah.
you know.
And there was that was mentioned in a couple of songs. Des Wilson's Dear Dundalk.
Yeah.
The boys. The
Paper boys.
boys still
Yeah,
sell it.
yeah.
But there was a lot of that, and I'd say the churches and that, big piles of paper.
The thing I remember, like, I was a community, you know. I remember my mother maybe saying to my father, he came home for us dinner, oh, the doctor was in the street today, you know. This was...
Well, that was a big thing.
Oh, the doctor was revered.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big titles.
Absolutely.
Absolute titles.
And, you know, and if someone was sick, there'd be... Every in the street would be like, can they do anything? Can they help out? You know, that way.
I don't mean to
Yes.
yeah.
I don't want you to run down the sort of more cynical route, but I mean, we still have community.
Yeah.
And I
we
still
still,
have
surely.
great faith in humanity. But moving forward, right, bring it up. When you look at Dundalk now,
Yeah.
over the last 10 years, and how it's looking,
know.
and how it's maintained,
Yeah.
and how it's revived,
Yeah.
I think it's absolutely wonderful.
It's beautiful.
I want, see coming off over, once you come the foreigners that live to, over the water.
Oh, yeah. Well,
When you get your visa stamped and
Yeah.
you come over the Newry Bridge.
a lot of people left the avenue to go across the water. I think all Liz to.
I know. Back over since.
Yeah.
And if you just come over, they're spontaneous. So, and you come into town now and they're doing that fabulous work.
I just love
Yeah.
the town. Love it.
I love it.
Almighty.
It's absolutely wonderful.
Like,
Yeah.
So
like,
socially, yes, it has moved on, it has changed, and yes, it's not romanticised. It is true. You could put your key in the door and stuff. But there were issues and there were problems. There was
listen,
there was undercover
Yes.
stuff going on. There was
every town, every
level
city
of
had their problems.
social
But,
deprivation was
yeah.
evident.
like,
And we can develop a rosy tint. But if you look at the town now, from our adulthoods,
yeah,
so from the 80s and 90s, where we've come,
yeah,
you look at Clontarf Street, it was like decay.
yeah,
Oh, sure.
Okay, the shops may not be open,
yeah.
but they look lovely.
I know.
I mean, there is a bit of
But-
cosmetic surgery going on, but still.
But it was the whole thing to go up to town.
That's it.
You know, and
Oh,
you've
yeah.
seen a lot. But
Yeah.
people would say there's an awful lot of poverty. People think that poverty
No,
is
it wasn't. No.
food. There's an awful lot of poverty in everything.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In love.
Oh, now we're getting.
In walking. I don't go out walking much in poverty. So feel anyway.
But the things I remember most about how crowded it was in the 60s, how
Yeah.
crowded the town was, especially in the Saturday
yeah.
show.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Like, you look at the pavements, they'd be like going to Croke Park to imagine.
Footfall.
Thronged with people.
Yeah.
What are the weekends?
Yeah, and like we'd be up there on the Saturday afternoon, hips shop, down to Felix McAvoy, Alan
Yeah.
Gormley, myself, Brendan Gaskin, and get the Italian suits with the covered buttons.
Double breast.
5 shillings a week, you paid it off.
Solicitors led
I'm going into
every
the-
month.
Did you get it before you paid it off? Did you get it?
Oh, you know, he give you the suit first. Once he knew you out of the family, he did.
You know
He was-
when a person
Yes.
you suit, right?
Yeah.
Right. Mr. McAvoy
Yeah.
would wrap it up in a brown paper, and everybody you get brought it home on the handlebars of the bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Sean coming. You've got a new suit. Look,
Yeah.
Right.
And then up the town into the Lauren Hotel. They had the minor board there at that time.
Yeah.
The minor board could absolutely talk like any human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd be in there with our bottles of Carling Black Label, thinking we were the bee's knees sitting there. And
You were.
yeah, and the minor board absolutely has us in stitches.
Did you teach you nice words?
Oh, I'll tell you, that was choice. That was choice.
I must tell you a story about hipsters. I got this fabulous, was a green mohair coat,
Yeah.
right? I was these names, you know, and a wee motorbike and all I had. And I remember we didn't cook the wife's pumpkin curry. So we're having a wee bit of slap and tickle, you know. You know what I'm talking about, Alvaro. Not like you.
No,
Daddy
no,
had
no.
his shop.
I'm very educated about the Mars. We wouldn't
Anyway,
understand that.
you know all these seeds from the hay, and
Yeah,
all that sort of stuff
yeah.
that's stuck in the mohair. I can tell you, man. I tried to hide that coat under the bed for years, and your mother found it.
Did you never get? Could you not push it out?
No.
Myself and a good friend of mine, Pedro, told we were coming out one night, and said, "Look at the state of your coat." We stood under a lamp after leaving the two dolls home, you know. Stood under a lamppost above it on the where Paddy thing has a shop on the beside the workhouse there. Under a lamp trying to get all this. We couldn't get it out. But I eventually threw in the towel, I put it under the bed anyway. My mother found it eventually. What? Dog? World War III starting up. That reminds me of hips. I wore the coat about once or twice.
Oh, no.
I swear, honestly.
Could you not? Would it not brush it at all?
No.
That was an expensive coat, son.
I was. And I'm still paying.
5 shillings a week. And you're still paying.
I'm still paying for it.
Yeah, well, I read the story from Hips. I remember old Georgie getting married, and I was doing best man. We went in to get the 2 black suits, and I wanted a serious flair with a turnip.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn up on it.
a turnip.
That was
You're not going to Joey Donny for that.
Oh, it was unbelievable. And I remember you'd have to leave it into Norm McKeever's or Remco or something to get it cleaned after you were using it. I remember my mother saying you're finding a load of money in your trousers. And I thought, well, you searching my pockets. She says, no, it's in the turnip. Honest to God.
Sean, do you remember Sloan's shop down here?
I do, of course.
Well, I won't mention the name. There's a fella from Moore Street there, and he was living in England for years and years and years. And he came home, and he says, Jesus, we were looking at his style, you know. Outfitted suits,
I know you
overcoats. I'm not going to mention the
I
name.
know you don't.
Anyway, got it all on the HP in the local shop and whatever. Bailed out home. But a month later, recycling up Park Street, this fella comes along on the bike beside him. Hello. He says, I work in Sloan's. Our sister shop in wherever you are in England have passed on the bill. I'll be collecting it at 10 shillings a week.
Imagine that.
Was that a big tall man? Well,
Yes.
Don't mention any name.
No.
I don't know him.
Oh, no, actually.
No, it's not. No, the collector was a big tall man.
Yeah.
Cycling on his bike. That's
right, yeah.
Yes,
After,
but
come here, after we'll finish this, you'll tell me, won't you?
Yeah.
We'll confirm.
we confirm.
Not at all.
No.
Can't
There
believe it.
there was a lot of boutiques like Tony McDonald's, Burton's,
Yeah.
Hips. There was more.
Wins then. That's when the
Wins.
trend. Dennis
Oh.
Grimes walking in
Yeah.
Guys and Dolls or whatever.
Dennis
it was.
Grimes.
Dennis
Well,
Grimes.
that's all.
Yeah, Dennis.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
Dennis was a great
Dennis
character.
Drew.
Dennis Drew.
Oh, sure, Dennis, of course.
But he was more modern, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the hipsters came in and all that,
Yeah.
and the bell bottoms and all this kind of stuff. It was just when, like, 62, 63, with, like, the culture and the change with the Beatles
Yeah.
and the emergence of flower power and it
Carnaby
was just the haircuts, everything.
And of
Yeah.
course, being a musician, and you
Oh, you had to have it.
would see the musical transition as well.
I know.
I remember Pat McEwen saying to me, standing outside the house, and again on Dublin Street, would be playing in the
I know.
street. He says he remembers passing an open door, and he heard, he heard rock and roll for the first time.
Yeah.
It was either
Bill Haley.
Elvis Presley or Billy.
Bill Haley.
But he said, I remember walking down the street, a young fella, and being stopped by the sound.
Yeah.
And realising, I've never heard anything like this before.
Yeah.
This is completely new. And is this what's coming next? So you must have had those moments.
Yeah.
We all-
Maybe I have
yeah.
had.
Like,
Maybe more modern
yeah,
music.
I know.
The 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
the 80s and 90s. Were you had moments where music came out and went, this is new.
know.
This is
Like,
going to be
yeah.
transformative. The Beatles,
Yeah.
had they progressed?
Yeah.
All of that stuff. But you would have known, apart from the fashion and the clothes,
yeah.
is the music.
I know.
Your music
Yeah.
presentation
Yeah.
changed. And speaking of clothing, Tony was always a very dapper
Dapper,
Ted,
yeah.
Victorian. And my late uncle Ted.
Oh, yeah, who was dapper too?
So Teddy was about 2 sizes bigger than Tony, because he wasn't actually. He wasn't that. He was just odd. And sure, Tony was head to foot. We were gorgeous, Peg. You still are, but we do it in Matt Deek. And so Tony would have this fabulous shirt, and he might be going off duty or going out, or even behind the counter. He was well turned out. Our Teddy was saying, "Actually, you do it because you do a better."
Hello, Tony. Would you give me that shirt when you finish with it? No, I was skin and bone. Teddy was,
He was bigger.
yeah. He was very funny. He was very funny. Yeah, he
Just
was.
getting back to the hips thing.
All right, go on.
You know, I remember when you go in and you pick the material, it shows you the material,
Yeah.
flip it over the material, and then you show
Sorry,
you
were they made?
Oh, they was made. They were. These were made.
These are
These were made.
These suits that are
Yes.
were made.
Made to measure.
Yeah.
and he give you the material to pick out, you know, and he flip over the samples, and then he take you over to give you a book
Yeah.
with all the styles on it.
and the linings.
Oh,
and the
it was
big
just
chuck.
brilliant.
I always thought he was just a retailer.
No.
Didn't realize he was a... Where was that?
They were probably sent to England, Tony.
It's down beside where Cost Cutters is now, down in Clonbrassil Street.
Okay,
somewhere
gotcha.
there.
Right.
But you get a bit of a thrill when he was measuring your inside leg. You know?
I know.
Oh, man.
I'm out there an image there of
Mr. Humphreys was there.
with
Oh, yeah.
the balloon. He's served.
But that is the way it was. It was you were measured for.
Yeah,
But 2 or 3 weeks again, you got it.
England.
Yeah.
Loving it.
These weren't off the cuff. No, they were meant.
Yeah,
Well,
Loving it.
them days.
That's wonderful.
And there was
What would a suit cost? Like, forget.
oh, I no, I can't.
It was 5 shillings a week.
£3 or £4. When you were
Yeah, would they be?
at that time, yeah. But that was some big money.
What?
that was like
What are you talking about? 60,
your wages
60
were only
years.
about
And you'd have your winkle picker shoes on
Oh,
with it, of course. Yeah.
But she then, when our kid, my brother, who was 58 the other day, Ricardo,
Happy birthday.
I remember when Ricardo and I used to go into Tony's when we were younger, and still did, right up till it closed. And Tony was so impressed with Ricardo's knowledge of 60s music. Because
Yeah,
Ricardo's a
he
mod.
was absolutely.
And I had a knowledge of 60s music through my brother. But our fella being one bedroom listening to Small Faces, and I'm in the other bedroom listening to Mama Cass or
Yeah.
Big face.
or Janis
Charles
Joplin.
Joplin, yeah.
So we sort of polar opposites to the 60s. But I remember Tony saying, God, lads, he said, and Ricardo. And then when you mentioned all the suits and stuff, I remember Ricardo, and his mates still now take extreme pride in their clothing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you were talking
Yeah.
about. Do you know, like going in and get your suit measured. And I remember saying to somebody, well, have you ever seen a gathering of middle-aged men, Ricardo and his
Yeah.
mates, literally talking about,
Yeah.
they're like, shiz, where'd you get those?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
little
Yeah.
trousers.
Yeah. That's
I was
it.
like,
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it's about. Presentation.
Yeah.
And you still carry it.
Yeah.
Well, you too.
Well, I had a haircut like Mungo Jerry then. You know.
I remember.
I remember when I was at Dympna.
I've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
I've seen the wedding photograph.
Yeah, and I went out to Dympna to meet the father, Sean, for the first time. And he'd look at me, you know, and when Dympna told me that, well, Daddy, what do you think of him? Well, I couldn't see his face, he says.
But I knew Sean very well. So Sean used to play for Dundalk FC.
Yeah.
And he wore the number 7 jersey. And I wore the number 7 jersey for Dundalk FC.
There you are, after him.
And I remember when we won the championship that in 1970. My God, that's 50-something years ago. In 1970, we all back to the wee club rooms, and I was talking to Sean. He says, "You wore the number 7 today, Sean. You weren't bad. You were good.
Yeah.
But you weren't as good as me.
Yeah.
The number 7. You know,
That'll buck you up.
My kids used to show my wedding album to their friends when they were 9 and 10 and 11.
Yeah.
Howling with the laughing.
Yeah.
Howling with the laughing at my wedding photographs. It's unreal.
And now,
Tony.
Yeah.
now all the young people are trying to get back into that fashion.
Absolutely.
You know, I even laugh when I see mine.
No, that's crying,
Oh,
son.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Paul. I'm too.
But you were talking about Dedal's Hill. Do you remember the Dedal's Hill draw?
Yeah.
We used to go out there every Monday night, wasn't it? It was on about Monday night.
yeah.
Just to see that.
The draw.
A draw.
Oh, yeah, fundraiser. Draw.
No, just a draw that was on it. It was like the pools and that. It was on.
That's taking me back just to the character.
Monday night.
Sorry, and you don't bought a ticket. You just go to have a look at it.
No, yeah, you go out, but the people used to be this book. You remember? You fill in your name, you pay whatever it was, a $10 or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
And the draw was of a Monday night. It'd be like a development.
It's a fundraiser.
And you bought into it.
Yeah, you go out.
All right, I just see you went up to see you.
It's just like
But Dennis Grimes used to do the Christmas, the Sunday morning draw. That was Dennis did the cards for it.
And did you inherit the holy hour, or was it done at that stage?
No, we had it closed. There was a
the holy hour.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah,
essential. Yeah.
basically you pull the blinds and that.
See,
Yeah.
that's incriminating.
You know.
I remember one time having too much fun, and perchance, by mistake, we had overstayed our legal limits on hours in the pub. And I remember there was just a few of us. And the Gardaí just visited to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah.
And I remember them leaving and saying to Tony or Dympna, maybe you, I'll tell you one thing, Tony, you have a spotless pub. There were about 7 cleaners that time of night. And I remember myself and Muriel Daw battling each other to get to the brush first. We had some laughs in that place. My mother and father. Just
they're
some
not as strict
wonderful
now, you know. Whereas they're not as strict.
Was that yarn?
There's no prosecutions there for pubs. None. Not.
There was a story going that Michael, my cousin Michael, Paddy's brother, was playing in Black Rock.
I
The
remember.
place was packed and the guards came in anyway. And the guard around taking names. And he said, no, I'm okay. He says, I'm with the band. I'm with the band. There was that many at the fucking band. The guard says, well, who was playing here? It was fucking James Last or something.
There was only 2 of us on the stage, but you remember?
Boston Philharmonic.
You remember Mr. Maguire from Liddy-Well? He was a big man. He was in the Gaelic, I remember it well. And he's coming out, he's giving me the mic stand, and the guard says, "You're with the band?" "Yeah, I'm the lead singer." And your man just tried to fucking look away. The simple day, as you said, the holy hour.
There were stories like, I mean, they should write them down. They should write them.
I know.
Well, we could do a couple of hours here, but unfortunately we are running out of time.
Yeah.
Tony, it was just marvellous.
Well, listen, great memories, and like the stage I'm at in my life now. I have to say, I haven't one regret in life about anything. I had a great life.
wonderful thing to say.
A great life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing now. I honestly mean that. I wouldn't change anything. I love the town.
Yeah.
Great town. And here, this time, just about a year ago, we resurrected Mousetrap, the band again.
Yeah.
And Pat Waller was playing up there with his band.
Yeah.
And Chris, the bass player, now living in Dublin, was here for the night, and I walked in, and the 2 of us, well, Pat, I says, "Chris, what are you doing?" "Nothing." Any chance of putting the band back together? It's a bit of fun. See how it goes.
But it's great to be able to do that, you know. But but you said like no regrets. You've done it all. Sport, music,
Everything. The trips we had from the pub in the Jack Sharpton area. I saw every country in Europe.
Speaking of your hairstyle.
We were in America. We were in Italia 90. We were in
that was a great era for you.
Oh, it's God.
Was it true that one of your trips now with the lads and Torchy Travers, and speaking of your hairstyle,
Right.
and the throng of everything, and Torchy shouts up, "Where's Tony?" Someone said, "Where's Tony?" "Don't know, but follow the perm, follow the hair."
That's it. But they were great times. But as I said, travelling extensively. But the minute I hit that hill coming home outside Drogheda and the lights of Dundalk, I always love coming home.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
Loved
Loved the way the feeling. But I think to come back to sitting on the paling and watching the Bedford van, I think the whole thing in my life was when I was asked to join the Toronto just for that one night.
That was a great time, that reunion. Paddy, it was brilliant.
Fabulous.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was it's the same as the resurrection of Mousetrap now, to come back and do something that you did a way back, and that was a terrific band.
But the best about it was it was a great night. We raised an awful lot of money. It was the rehearsals.
Oh, they were.
Was this that night? Too?
Yeah.
That was.
It was a scream.
And we have that in video, which is great. We still have it, you know.
And Noel, Lord rest him, Noel Donnelly says to me, "Well, cause you had me, well, I'm not too sure of these, you know." And I says, "Grand, I'll help you with them." We got into it.
Yeah.
And then when you think of Noel, Paddy, Patsy, Gino, you know,
all gone.
We never taught them.
No, we never taught. No.
You know,
You have the memories, lads.
Yes.
great
memories. Absolutely great.
You can take all the photographs you want.
Yeah.
This is true.
You have it up there.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah. Oh, the memories were
Tony,
brilliant.
we're going to wrap up now very shortly.
Right, well, if you'd around a drink here, we could stay on for another hour now, you know.
That could be arranged. But Tony, thank you so much.
Not at all. Enjoyed it, lads.
Well, Tony, thank you. It was great to reminisce, and it's true about the town. The town is a great place, and I promote it everywhere I go anyway. But just a little thing, Tony, before we finish. It's a little quiz, but
Right.
quick fire round.
Don't be thinking too much.
You just whatever comes into your
hopefully.
head. So we leave it over now
you
to
ready?
Bamba Gascoigne reading meters.
Fabergas, right.
What profession other than your own would you have liked to have attempted? You covered a lot.
I would have liked to be a footballer.
I knew you were going
Yeah.
Well, now you're living through your grandson.
Yeah.
A wonderful young
Yeah,
gentleman, Ryan.
classic.
Wonderful. What is your favourite word? Don't think too long now. Let it pop out.
Hello.
Yeah.
Because I go up the street every day. I say hello to everyone on the street.
Yeah.
Your mastermind topic.
Mastermind topic. It would have to be British comedy.
Oh,
We were just talking about
just
that.
saw that earlier.
We have to do that again. What is your least favourite word?
No.
Lovely.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? What turns you on in those?
Music.
Brilliant. Heinz or Bachelor's beans?
Heinz.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl, definitely.
What profession would you not like to do?
A dentist.
Last film, TV series you watched?
I'm after watching Rise and Damp again for the third time.
Oasis or Blur?
Both great bands. I'll just side with Blur.
Theatre or cinema?
Cinema.
Where your go-to hobby?
I love the pub.
What is your favourite curse word? And you can use it.
Can I use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Fuck off.
Yes. That's pretty
Hello.
A song you'd like to take full writing credit for?
Waterloo Sunset, the Kinks.
Oh,
Without hesitation.
that
Right
would
there.
not even
That's
hesitate.
wonderful. What turns you off? Creatively, spiritually, emotionally?
People that don't wave after you let them out when you're driving your car.
Especially in the pub.
That sounds like it's from experience. Tony, what sound or noise do you hate?
Dympna's blender in the morning in the kitchen.
Fair enough. An undervalued profession.
An undervalued profession. This will be difficult. An undervalued. I'm stunned here now. An undervalued
An
profession.
undervalued
profession.
profession.
Well, it'd have to be something to do with antiques because of the beauty and stuff that people create. I look at a lot of the restoration.
Love it.
And I love that kind of, I would have loved, yes, maybe you want it to be something like that these,
Okay. Do you believe in karma?
yes,
Oh, good on you. I wish I did. What sound or noise do you love? Dympna's blender in the morning when it stops.
that riff with the 12 bar blues,
Yeah.
yes.
Brilliant. Android or iPhone?
Android,
The choice of anyone in the world, who would you want as a dinner guest?
Paul McCartney,
Okay. Yeah. Would you rather be right or happy?
right,
Or happy?
happy,
Happy, okay. Television guilty pleasure.
again, I'll go for Last of the Summer Wine.
Classic. Two of us send over bits and pieces from that. Do you see that? What a bit of clip. Telling you, your hangover cure.
Oh,
What's in the blender?
the remnants, yeah. Hangover cure. Oh, I don't know if there's one. I haven't found one yet,
What was the-
No, I have to say, yeah.
One.
Bloody Mary.
Ab-
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Bloody Mary, yeah.
Have you on the Mary?
Yes.
Yeah, I know the one. Right. What would you name your boat if you had one?
Unsinkable.
Titanic.
Tony. Right. We've a couple more. Wait there now. How would you name your boat? What movie would you put in a time capsule? What movie would you put into a time capsule?
Oh. John Wayne, Maureen O'Hara.
Quiet Man.
Quiet Man.
Quiet Man. Okay.
Classic.
What's your favorite decade for music? What's your favorite decade?
Oh, definitely the 60s.
Yeah. Should this quiz end?
No.
No. Okay. Would you like the next question?
Yes.
Last concert you remember going to?
The last one I went to that I just was bowled over was Paul McCartney in Dublin. Never have I seen lots and lots of acts from Slane to all the ones in Dublin and wherever, but Paul McCartney, that was really, really something special for me. I was in the just now the 3 Arena, wherever it was. Magnificent. I've never in my life ever.
How long ago was this? This one you remember, the McCarthy one.
Yeah,
20 years.
Yeah, easily.
Right. Wonderful.
Absolutely, just all the boyhood memories.
I've seen
the tribute he gives to John Lennon that night is take it to you. Emotional.
So that was your joy.
Yeah.
It's your emotional and your spiritual taken care of there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tony, on behalf of me and the lads, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely, lads. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks for
Thank you. Thank you.
That was wonderful.
We'll have to get a load of people in, Tony included, just to talk about your memories of the talk. Just little things, you know.
But you're I look at walking around the town there, the murals now are fantastic. They are just on.
I'm so
And
incredibly,
as we used to call it, the Latin Quarter, Bridge Street.
Yeah,
just look at it's come alive. It's just beautiful.
I'm just so happy. We had family up from Kildare recently enough, and we were somewhere else, point to point, and I purposely came through the town at night, and the St. Bridget's arches were still up.
Yeah,
and I purposely came around the domain.
I know.
And to open them up to that vista, because I knew what I was doing.
I know. I was heartbroken and I was shaking them down.
Yeah, we all were.
Yeah.
But I knew what I was doing. I was saying, right, wait till you see this, and the courthouse lit up. It's just.
Yeah.
All we had was Jack snacks in the 60s.
Yeah.
Hard man soup. Thanks for the memories.
Not at all.
Thanks for
And we have
Thank you
loads
very
more.
much.
We have loads
And
more.
my
we will.
takeaway from this is you have no regrets. You would live your life.
None
That is,
whatsoever.
for me, inspiring.
Yeah.
And I'm jealous.
And from the point of view of family, like I have great friends in both football and music and wherever, and they have their family scattered in Australia, America, New Zealand, England.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed that I have all them around me. We have 11 grandchildren and 1 great granddaughter.
That's great.
And they're all in the house every week. And
That's
we're all
That's just
we're like
It's nice.
Lovely.
To have that. Yeah,
and
it's great.
That to me is just
And
what
of
life
course,
is.
the
we better wrap it here because I'm going to start crying.
Yeah, after the revival now coming up of Mousetrap. When is it?
15th of August.
That's a famous.
You're all invited. You're all on the door on the guest list. If you're coming, please come.
And
Where are you playing?
2 days later,
Right.
it'll be my birthday.
Right.
Oh, we're 60th.
Yeah.
So where are you playing, Tony?
Well, Spirit Store.
Spirit Store.
15th of
Plug it
August.
there into that camera.
Yeah. Spirit Store, 15th of August. Love to see all the old heads from years ago and the new ones that are finding the band again. Yeah.
Great stuff.
That'll be great.
Tony,
Tony,
very much.
thank you very much.
Not at all.
Thanks for-
Not at all.